to see for yourselves one of the most amazing events.
When is this great experiment made?
Impervious to heat, impossible to move.
Is it human or inhuman?
Gentlemen, do you realize what we've found?
It's time for the Geeky Rummy Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello and welcome to the Geeky Rummy Podcast. Join me today on this first day of Insomnia, Mr. Keith Bloomfield.
Hello, Ryan.
Mr. Guy Halford.
I am genuinely here.
And Mr. Leigh Rice.
Hello.
How are we all this fine Friday morning? It's a very sunny day. We thought we'd come and record outdoors for a little bit. We're next to the Bear Grylls adventure.
It's like, you know, when you got like a so hot day at school and then they let you go outside for a bit, like to do a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, even though like it just descended into chaos. Like, should we play a game of rounders? But we're at it.
I am very much fancying making a daisy chain necklace. There's many pretty daisies here. But Keith, you've been watching the Bear Grylls trailer on repeat for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel very extreme now.
What was the thing you pointed out on the Bear Grylls trailer?
The one thing that was not like the others, he lists a lot of his achievements. One, he's like Everest summiteer, youngest chief scout, special forces trained, and then has BAFTA award winner in there as well. I'm not quite sure which part of this adventure is replicating the BAFTA award-winning segment.
Is it a gaming BAFTA? Because it doesn't actually declare if it's a gaming BAFTA.
I think it's for his various like abusing celebrity documentaries.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it like? So this makes Bear Grylls exactly like God of War. Yeah. It's won a BAFTA.
Could you imagine he's got a bit of a recording in there where he's just shouting, "Boy, go!" Or does he occasionally appear pushing people off things?
Whilst chugging his own pee?
Yeah, I was going to say, which part of this Bear Grylls adventure do you have to drink your own pee?
Yeah. Although we have decided, part of the adventure is a zip line coming out of the back of a quite poorly reproduced Chinook helicopter.
It's a frog.
Which, from this angle looks like a frog. I'm thinking one night we've got to come here with a few buckets of paint and redecorate that to more accurately represent a frog.
It is not a frog, it is Slippy Toad from X-Men.
So does that mean when you come out you've got to do a barrel roll?
Yes. Right, so the whole point of us being here today is to come and enjoy the delights of Insomnia Gaming Festival.
Video games!
Yes. So there is a massive retro zone. People are going to be camping on site. There's bring your own computer. There's loads and loads and loads of cool stuff. The big retro... Have I said the retro zone? I did say the retro zone. Merchants. Cosplay.
Merchants. Every time you say that, especially here, it would have to be a bloke with a big coat.
I think they should all dress as just the Resident Evil 4 merchant at all times.
So I thought the merchant at Venice was like Ryan enough buy stuff with ducats.
Right, so how's everyone's week been? Keith, start us off. What have you been up to this week?
Booking tickets to Avengers.
Yes.
Finally got around to that.
Yes.
Waiting for my Howard the Duck Label 101 Blu-ray to arrive, which I'm quite looking forward to.
But you literally sat like by the door, like Scott Pilgrim.
Like Scott Pilgrim, yeah. It didn't happen the same way. No cute skater came and delivered it. It started on the right.
There was not magical dust when you opened it.
No, it's not actually arrived yet.
So it might have like a glowing light inside the box.
Yeah.
Did you order it from Zavid?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But I did order another thing, which I can't mention because it's for Madeline's birthday in a couple of weeks, which was a vinyl record associated to a TV series that started this week, which possibly maybe have been an error, although the music might be okay. I'm not sure the series is a winner, so I'm a little bit on the tender hooks yet. So we've just recorded it. It just started on Sky One this weekend.
So it's Game of Thrones season 8?
No. No.
Agatha Raisin.
No, it's a picture disc thing that it features some Scandinavian artists. So there's a clue as to what it might be.
Is it going to be people in chunky knit sweaters looking at corpses?
No, well, there's a new First Aid record.
Cranberries got Ryan. Oh, sorry, no, the Cardigans. Sorry.
There's a new First Aid kit recording on this album as well. But there's multiple versions. So there's various characters from this TV show, which isn't Game of Thrones. But yeah, so that came. I've got to find a place to hide that, and then trying to think what else I did this week. Not a lot else actually. A lot of work.
Sorry, I was just distracted by the constipated Bear Grylls face that I just saw on the big screen.
It's very stirring, isn't it? It's the kind of thing that I'm thinking, do they play this in the toilet as well while you're waiting? It's like, expel that foul stuff.
Beverage.
But yeah, that's a bit really. A couple of deliveries, taken a few deliveries.
Yep.
Not a lot else really. It hasn't been a big week for films. I haven't watched anything this week.
You also had another film screening this week?
Yeah, we did worked with the Living Memory Project and Blue and White Creative to put together a short film with some kids reading some poetry and then super in photographs, which went down well. Tipton Library was very good.
Guy, what have you been up to this week?
Multiple weird circumstances, as per usual. So the first one is, last time we all got together, I bought highly priced Bowie shoes. And I got a sign from them Saturday morning at like 8 a.m. No, it was like 7:30 a.m. And the man came to my door. Literally, my signature it's a bit rubbish. I'll do it for you. I just kind of go like that. But it's a signature. You sign on those little tablet things. You just want them to get off your door.
That's not a signature. That's a line.
Well, but it still proves I signed for it. So it's like, just get off my doorstep. I want my shoes. Anyway, he cancelled it when I did that. He went, no. And I went, what do you mean no? He went, do it again. And I was like, that's my signature. And he went, no, that's not good enough. And I was just like, well, that's my signature. And I did it again, and he just went off. He stormed off, slammed my garden gate, and walked off in a strop. It's kind of like, I can't believe you're annoyed at me for my signature. Like, that is my signature. Like, why are you so bothered about it? You've given me my package. I've signed for it. It was like a proper full-on baby strop just because I didn't sign to his standard. So that was bizarre. But then we all went to my Discovery DJ set, and it was just bizarre incident after bizarre incident, really. So early on in the afternoon, me and Captain Kirk, we witnessed a guy hitting on a girl behind the cash desk who worked at the Discovery. He was buying Stereophonics live album while hitting on a girl, like, I really like your t-shirt. Mate, I mean, like...
Was it a Stereophonics t-shirt?
No, she didn't have a Stereophonics. It was a Record Store Day t-shirt, but it was just the fact he was buying a Stereophonics record, hitting on a girl.
A live Stereophonics record as well?
How many times can you listen to Mr. Writer?
Exactly 0 times.
So that was the first of many incidents. Second incident, obviously me and Kirk, both long-haired gentlemen, this chap he stands outside the window for a while and he's looking at us, and I'm thinking, he's obviously liking what we're playing. He comes in with his phone, and then he just turns around and is like, have you got a hairpin so I can get my SIM card out? And we were like, sorry, what? Like, no, we're doing a DJ set. Like, why? I mean, I know we've got long hair, but none of us had a hairpin. I had to tell him to go away.
Did you have it look up in a bun on top of your head? Which, would obviously indicate the usage of hairpinage.
Were you recreating the L'Oreal advert? Doing a Jennifer Aniston and throw your hair back?
Normally I am, yes. Then the third weird incident was, obviously, Record Store Day, massive busy day at the Discovery. A lot of people coming in to buy the Record Store Day releases. This old timer comes in, looks at me and Kurt, we're DJing in front of their crap jazz music section, and he just looks at us and he goes, I've travelled 70 miles to look at the jazz music. And we're like, all right, okay. And he's like, I'd like to get in and have a look, please. And we were like...
So he decides on Record Store Day, the busiest day of the year for any record shop. Any record shop will be really, really busy on Record Store Day. Because basically people are there just for the Record Store Day releases. He drives 70 miles to look at the obscure jazz back issue collection.
It's the 70 miles that gets me.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, does he not have a record store any closer to him? You don't need to drive 70 miles to find a record store.
It was an utter fuss. And then, obviously, we were stood in front of it, but there's a section where we're not actually stood in front of, and we turn around to him and go, oh, well, there's some then. And we were like, where do you want to start? And he points to right behind me and Kirk. So Kirk is literally cheek to cheek with this man looking at the records. And after about 10 minutes, he's kind of like, oh, come back later and have a look. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, you can come back later, Grandad, but we're still going to be here. Just because us young kids aren't going to be moving our DJ decks forward to please you. But I think the cherry on the top, Leigh, you left literally 5 minutes before this magic happened.
There was one thing before that.
Was
that really nice girl who kept approaching your friends Sam and Phil multiple occasions to come and listen to the music and try and conversate with your friends Sam and Phil, and they were blatantly so missing the hintage.
They did. I mean, Ryan came out with the greatest burn I think he's ever come out with. When we came back, he turned around when you both acted like a pair of puppies. And it was just like there's a little bit of silence. Like, yeah, no, to be fair, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, Leigh, you missed the finest moment, and yourself, Keith, because you left earlier on, which I was obviously disappointed about, which killed the rest of the set for me. So I finished the set, and I thought I'd wrap it up by playing the Kinks' Victoria, and it's a good song, you know, I thought I'd get everybody going. This guy comes up to me and he hands me 2 45s, and he goes, "Can you play these, please?" And I was like, "Oh, well, mate, we're kind of wrapping up now, to be honest with you." And then he's like, "Oh, yeah, but Leigh told me I could play them. Lee's like the owner of the shop." I was like,
I didn't say anything.
As
Leigh was leaving. It's like, "Oh, mate, give him the record."
So, like, he hands me 2 45s, and he asks me to play them in a specific order. The 2 45s he gives me, one is a track by 90s dance group Bomb the Bass, and one is This Woman's Work by Kate Bush.
Which wouldn't have been a bad one to finish the DJ
No,
set
it wouldn't have been. But he wanted This Woman's Work by Kate Bush first. Now, I love Kate Bush. I contemplated taking a Kate Bush record with me on the day, but I would not have chosen This Woman's Work. Anyway, I put the song on, and he just breaks into this almost like it was a choreographed dance sequence around like a really small record shop.
You could tell he'd been practicing these dance moves for weeks, but it was, as I said, probably in the tightest part of the shop, like the aisle where you've got big long boxes on both sides full of records.
It was remarkable.
It's not exactly the most danceable record.
No, it's
is
not.
It really? I mean,
but it was like Kate Bush style interpretive dance.
I can imagine you could kind of reproduce, you know, a kind of Kevin Bacon crying type thing to go with it. But an actual dance routine sounds quite strange.
Like, if you did a dance routine to the Bomb the Bass track, I could kind of understand.
Wow. Wow, Leigh. Funny you mention that, because so I went and told the guys in the disco, the guy dancing to Kate Bush outside, they ran to the security camera, like, mega excited to watch, and they were watching him dance on the security camera. Anyway, I really need the loo, so I got Kurt to take over and put the Bomb the Bass track on. However, about 10 minutes before, I dropped a new track off the new Chemical Brothers record, which is amazing, by the way. But it was a really fast, ravey track, so Kirk had matched his speed of his track to follow into mine. So we left the one deck running at slightly faster speed. So he put the track on. It'd been on for literally 10 seconds, and the guy stops his interpretive dance, and he turns around to Kurt, "It's too fast." And Kurt's like, all right. So he just turned the speed down, and he was like, no. Can you start it from the top? Because I need to count myself in. So like Kurt literally had to play it from the beginning again. And like you see with vinyl, you've got like the shiny or black bit at the beginning, you know, where like you're waiting for the track to come on, and you can tell he was genuinely getting impatient while it was waiting for the track to come on, and he was trying to wait. He was waiting for that count, and it was still obviously out of time for him. But it's kind of like, we can't control that. That's how the record is designed. And he broke into another interpretive dance. It was the weirdest end to a DJ set I've ever had, to be honest with you. It was absolutely mental. I mean, it was in a way, would you agree, Ryan? It was kind of beautiful.
It felt like I'd wandered into a Terrence Malick movie.
It was. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe you missed it. Honestly, literally, if you'd stayed 5 more minutes.
But here's my problem with this. So he requests a 90s rave track.
Yeah.
And he's got a specific choreographed dance, which goes against everything about 90s rave, which is where you're supposed to, you dance to it, but there's no order to the dance. It's just, you know, everyone was on ecstasy and just throwing themselves around. And that's what makes it great.
The dance didn't seem that much different from the Kate Bush one.
No, they were very similar, to be honest with you. He also had a t-shirt on that said, "Eat, dance, repeat." Like to be fair, you're dancing. Would you eat before? It's like you know, your parents say like, don't go into the swimming pool after you've had your dinner.
I can understand sleep, dance, repeat. But eat, dance, repeat.
Did you manage to get this gentleman's details so you could get him to attend each one of your DJ sets?
I feel like I should have.
I think he's your Bez now, isn't he?
I feel like every DJ set will have to end with "This Woman's Work" by Kate Bush, and I feel like that will ultimately start ruining that song for me.
He'll just abseil from the ceiling when you play it.
You should have videoed it so you could put it on a projection behind you.
Do you know what is the saddest thing here, though? Is obviously, like, he did choose "This Woman's Work." Why did he not go Wuthering Heights?
Yeah.
It would have been perfect.
Yes.
But yeah, that was my week. Weird dancing men and being told off for my signature.
Yet another example in the catalogue of Guy Halford's
Guy
life
Meldrew.
that we are living in Guy Halford's Truman Show.
It is Guy Meldrew, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Leigh, have you got any stories of the week that are similar or more entertaining?
Not on that level. just the games industry realizing that my birthday was in the past week and deciding to release things that I've been waiting for a while to play. So, first of all, Media Molecule, who made Little Big Planet, and they made Tearaway on the Vita. They released Dreams, which is like the new sort of little crafty game where you can make your own games and things, and that came out. It's in early access, and it was quite cheap because it's in early access. So I was like, I'm having that. I've been waiting forever for that one. And then there was Joker in Smash Brothers, came out like 2 days after that, and officially came out at 2 a.m. And I was like, I'm still up. I'm going to try and download it, but the servers crashed at that point. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go to bed and I'll download it in the morning. So yeah, that was mostly my week really, just waiting for those two things.
Cool. And you can probably watch your Ferrets First.
Yes,
or
I
both
did.
of them at some point soon.
I did a Ferrets First on Dreams. I won't be doing a Ferrets First on Joker just because I do it as like the game, and I haven't. It's not the first time playing Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience playing Dreams because it takes a while to get used to, and the tutorials aren't the best.
See, when you said Dreams, I was expecting it to be like a follow-up to Nights into Dreams.
Yeah. The problem is, I think that Media Molecule has spoiled everyone because Little Big Planet's tutorials for making levels, they got Stephen Fry to do all the narration.
I mean, which is a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not very many other voiceover artists that you could ever get.
And he was so perfect for the game. You know, the game's very sort of, it's very cutesy, very craft orientated, and he's there.
But I'm blessed.
Yeah. Hello. If they did that, it'd be great. But I don't know who they've got for Dreams, but he's not Stephen Fry by any stretch of the imagination.
Hugh Laurie.
And if
David Attenborough. That's the only person you could probably get to beat Stephen Fry.
But yeah, this guy, he does this tutorial, but he tells you how to do everything like 3 or 4 times in a row. He sounds like a children's TV presenter.
Is it Dave Benson Phillips?
It's not Dave Benson Phillips, unfortunately. Basically, it sounds like someone being like, okay, so children, now this is what you do. And it's the most patronising thing in the world. And in the video you can see, that I put on my YouTube channel, you can see that I do things way ahead of him actually telling me to do things. And I'm just skipping through the tutorial being like, yes, I did this bit, thank you.
It's like having Navi from Legend of Zelda again.
Yeah. And Joker's a lot of fun as well. And as someone who's a massive fan of Persona 5, just the amount of representation they put in that, into that game is fantastic.
Sorry, that was me distracting the pair of them by pointing out an old man wearing 3/4 length shorts, which is like something that should never happen.
It's a sunny day.
He looks like I feel like he feels like he's ruling the roost, and he looks he looks appalling. No man should wear 3/4 lengths. I've got a pair, and I'm literally embarrassed by having them.
Look, he's getting ready for the Bear Grylls adventure because that seems to be where he's heading.
He's definitely ready.
He's also got a sweater tied around his waist as well.
Yeah,
of course, ready for Bear Grylls adventure.
Look, Bear Grylls tells you have to be prepared. That's why he has the sweater tied around his waist.
He might get caught in a bit of a rope around the bottom third of his trouser.
There's also a man going in wearing combat trousers and a baseball cap. He looks like he's signing up for the army, to be honest. This is how I get into the army. How's your week been, Ryan?
Spent it mostly prepping for a certain event that's happening tonight. Which is the Batman 66 screening, which we've been probably boring our audience to death about for the last month and a half.
Guys, I don't know if we told you we're doing the Batman screening yet.
Yes.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yes, so by the time this podcast goes out, the Batman screening will have come and gone,
yes.
and I'm sure it would have been a massive success. Very lovely. But pretty much that's what I was like trying to do my best Adam West impressions.
I just have this vision of Ryan holding the Batman film above his head and running around, running into nuns and a woman with a pushchair. It's like,
can we do that? Can we ask Millennium Point if we can do that?
It's Ryan run around with it on a screen above his head.
Not with his knee.
not with that giant screen either. Yeah. It is the biggest screen I've seen in quite some time.
Be a Herculean task, wouldn't it?
Yes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be good fun. So we're doing the Insomnia Festival, then we're going straight on. It's been a while since we did it, but it is time for Weird News.
I apologise if there's any munching or chewing during the segment. I am eating a sandwich. It's not like you've never heard other shows that people eat and chew food during the show unprofessionally, but we just know this will be eaten on a professional level.
I thought you were talking about anything that's on a BBC or ITV on a Saturday morning.
Are we ready for our headlines?
I could never truly say I'm ever ready for this.
Right, so the first one, Snot Otter emerges victorious in vote for Pennsylvania's official amphibian.
Sorry,
from
Snot
NPR.
Otter?
I hear otter. I want to know more.
From azcentral.com, Scorpion jeopardizes Arizona senators milking thumb ahead of cow milking competition.
Okay, before you continue, when you said scorpion, I didn't think of the animal. I thought of the character from Mortal Kombat.
Also from NPR.org, for some Quidditch players, the magic wears off as injury risks grow clearer.
I want to hear more about this scorpion story, just because in my head it's now the Mortal Kombat character, and I'm going to imagine the whole story with that in mind.
Can I point out some genuine weird news that's happened right now? Is one of those little dogs that we've been watching run around has genuinely entered the Bear Grylls adventure.
It's going to be ziplining as soon as we speak. And the last weird news story for the day, from Dunstable Today. Dunstable mum's anger over misleading Alphabites can't spell son's name.
That one.
Yeah, I like that one, but also I like the scorpion one.
The
And the otter, because it's otters.
Which one do we want to go with first? Do you want to go with otters, scorpions, Quidditch, or Alphabites?
Let's go with Alphabites.
Let's go with the Alphabites, because it's going to...
Yeah.
It's like your standard local news story.
I feel like the fact it says Dunstable Mum as
Yeah.
well. You know, it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's classic in itself.
Well, it's just making sure that it's reporting local news for local
It's going to
people.
have her sitting at a table looking miserable at the offending Alphabites.
I'm hoping that she spells something out to illustrate her unpleasant
We have
thoughts.
a picture of a plate with chicken nuggets, Alphabites, and beans for demonstration purposes.
What's it say? 100 Ann.
Right. So this is actually from 2016, but it's resurfaced recently online and been reshared. An angry mum has complained to Tesco because her bag of alphabet potato shapes didn't contain the correct letters to spell her son's name.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You must cater exactly to me.
Nicola Hart was left very disappointed to discover the £1 bag did not contain the letters L and O, meaning she could not spell out Logan.
Well, she could have done an upside down R.
She then attempted to cover this omission by replacing the L with an I and the O with a C, but her eagle-eyed 4-year-old son quickly noticed the mistake.
When you say eagle-eyed son, I was hoping that he'd got a little lever in the back of his head to make his eyes go left and right.
Nicola was furious. She posted a complaint to Tesco's Facebook page along with pictures spelling out ICGAN. She wrote, "My son is 4 and is learning his letters. I want to spell his name Logan, but to my shock there were no L's or O's but a lot of repeated letters."
So what happens when he starts to eat the letters? Does that not end up with a similar effect?
Well, he must have to go he must go for the letters in sequential order. In the end, I improvised by using an I as an L and a C as an O, so I spelled ICGAN, which is obviously not his name.
It's good.
See, a creative mom here. What's the other products on the plate? There's baked beans.
Chicken nuggets.
There's baked beans, isn't there?
Well, you could have used a chicken nugget for the O quite easily.
You could have spelt it out in baked beans. Baked beans are the most versatile of foods for when it comes to spelling out stuff.
Or just get out a tin of alphabety spaghetti.
What happens if you'd have got no L's and no O's in your alphabet spaghetti? In my experience, you get a lot of X's and Z's. Well, actually, you get the letters that have the least amount of stuff on them, so they can cheat you out of your food intake.
He noticed this straight away, and I had to explain why. Very disappointed.
You know, there's just for some reason in the packing plant those letters didn't go into the bag.
Yeah, Logan, it's a bit of a random choice.
Nicola bought the 500-gram bag of crispy potato letters from a local Tesco in Dunstable, Bedfordshire.
I don't know why the description crispy potato letters amused me, but it did.
The mum of 2 also has a 14-month-old son, Miller, served them up for Logan with chicken nuggets and baked beans.
Logan and Miller.
So surely she's more effed with Miller because he needs 2 L's.
She said,
and also he has a surname for a first name.
What
They both do.
Yeah.
What's that surname?
Is the surname Jeff or
Hart.
something?
So Logan Hart and Miller Hart.
Miller Hart.
Miller
That
Hart
sounds
Sounds
like
like a beer.
It sounds like a lightweight beer that you have. Concerned about your cholesterol? Drink Miller Hart.
Oh, we're going to get done for live on slander.
She said it's misleading. Why would you sell them as alphabites? Really, they should just be called certain letter bites.
doesn't say the words complete alphabet bites either.
They're just crispy potato letters.
It was just lots of repeated letters, a lot of Y's and a lot of J's. I had to improvise, which wasn't really nice. When Logan comes home from school, he's always practicing his letters.
What kind of dinner is he having, crisps?
Look, why don't you rename your son Jay, and then you'll be able to write his name?
So I thought I'd buy some Alphabites and hopefully we could go through it at the dinner table to help him practice. I thought that's what most parents do, make a fun time dinner.
I mean,
that's brilliant.
There's a lot of questions wrong with this. Also, as well, what happens to representation here? What if there are families that are from a non-English background wanting to spell their children's names in alphabetic spaghettis? You know, you don't find many Mandarin Chinese symbols in a bag of alphabetic.
Hey, look,
spaghetti.
I found an O in my pop chips.
It gets better. Obviously, the person who made these from Tesco can't have children.
Why? They're made in a factory.
Sorry, now it can't be called Logan or Miller.
If you buy them, you expect all the letters to be there, and that's why I emptied them all out.
Does she think that someone's just sitting there shaping the letters by hand and then just...
So, she's got a real issue here, because she'd be okay with Logan.
You reckon?
If it contained all 26 letters of the alphabet, she'd be fine. She could spell Logan.
Yeah.
But she couldn't spell Miller.
No.
Because she's chosen to have 2 letters the same in that kid's name. So she'd need 2 sets.
What if she wanted to
just
spell
both
both names?
Yeah.
It's not Myla, maybe.
Apparently, it does not say in the packet that not all of the letters are in there, but again, I don't see the point in that. Tesco responded to the complaint on Facebook saying, I am sorry you did not have the correct letters in your pack of potato.
Don't apologise,
potato
Tesco.
alphabet letters. I understand you were disappointed with the range of letters you had. The bags are packed in a random selection of letters and we don't state that you will get every letter. I apologise for any disappointment this causes. That is the end of the article.
Wow.
I'm going to go and buy a Kinder Egg now and say that I'm gutted that the prize I wanted wasn't the one that's inside it.
I'm going to be gutted that they don't have a yolk inside a Kinder Egg.
Yeah.
That's fragrant mislabelling. It's an egg, but without egg in it.
Yeah, I mean, you get mini eggs and you don't get tiny little yolks inside them.
I would like, Tesco's to now relabel their alphabety letters to, like, it may not be possible to reproduce the complete works of Shakespeare with our letters in tasty, crispy potato shapes.
Right, we've only got time for one more real weird news story. So do we want Senator's Thumb sung by Scorpion or a Snot Otter? I think Quidditch is probably the weakest out of those 3 articles.
It's not.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You want Snot Otter?
I don't mind.
That sounds like genuinely a really disturbing name for an act I'd like to engage in.
So this is from NPR.org. Snot Otter emerges victorious in vote for Pennsylvania's official amphibian by Francesca Paris.
What's a Snot Otter?
Pennsylvania's soon-to-be official amphibian has more than its fair share of nicknames. The Snot Otter, the Mud Devil, the Allegheny Alligator, the Devil Dog, and the Lasagna Lizard. All of these
names I like to call my...
In short, it's not exactly a looker, but the Eastern Hellbender Salamander was an overwhelming choice of lawmakers for the amphibian representation in the state. On Tuesday, the state's House of Representatives voted 191 to 6 on a bill that would name the aquatic creature its state amphibian.
Right.
The Hellbender is a nocturnal salamander that can grow 2 feet long.
Again, these names are just, that's great, aren't they?
I just can't get past Lasagna Lizard because now I'm just imagining it has the face of Garfield.
It doesn't, and it certainly doesn't look like lasagna either. I do not know how it's managed to achieve this name.
The Hellbender is a nocturnal salamander that can grow more than 2 feet long. The mud-coloured creature, covered in a layer of mucus, breathes primarily through loose flaps of thick, wrinkled skin that look like a bit like lasagna noodles. I'm
getting turned on.
The Hellbender is also a canary for environmental degradation.
I will now have this slander on otters. I've looked at a picture of it.
The giant salamander's sensitivity to pollution and changing conditions makes it an indicator species for healthy bodies of water according to the US Fish and Wildlife Service. The animal relies on cool, moving water to breathe and prefers rocky, swiftly flowing rivers and streams in the Appalachian region, with a range that stretches from northern Georgia to southern New York. And on and on. Garth Everett, a Republican state representative who helped push through the bill, said Hellbenders are on decline. Not many people have actually seen a hellbender, Everett said after the vote. They live only in very clean streams and live under the rocks. Emma Stone,
She gets everywhere.
president of the CBF Student Leadership Council, said that Tuesday's bill moves the state towards cleaner water. The passing of this bill is to ensure to allow hellbenders to breathe easier in the near future and give them a better chance of survival, which is quoted in the CBF statement. Not to mention a better chance for a clean water legacy in Pennsylvania.
I have looked it up on Wikipedia, and it has got one of the best quotes ever. That says the name Hellbender probably comes from the animal's odd look. One theory claims the Hellbender was named by settlers who thought it was a creature from hell where it's bent on returning. Another rendition says the undulating skin of the Hellbender reminded observers of horrible tortures of the infernal regions. In reality, it's a harmless aquatic salamander. I want to know what the horrible tortures of the infernal regions is, and who's observed that and could equate that to a strange
And who's
and unusual
infernal regions?
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly cover off the cow milking?
Which one?
Scorpion jeopardises Arizona's
Yeah.
senators milking them ahead of cow milking competition. This is by Grace Palmieri from the Arizona Republic.
Grace Hail Mary.
Grace Palmieri.
Right.
When organisers of a state employee cow milking contest needed a senator to compete, Sine Kerr was the natural choice.
Right.
That is her name, Sine Kerr. SINEKER.
Right.
The pressure is on because I'm a dairy farmer, so everyone expects me to win it or do very well, Kerr said. But her chances at winning at the state employees charitable campaign's second annual milking contest were thrust into jeopardy just days before Thursday's competition.
Thrust.
It was early Tuesday morning around 3 a.m. when Kerr awoke to a startling pain. A scorpion stung her just below her left thumb, her milking thumb.
Oh no.
How do you end up knowing that you have a milking thumb? Kerr and her husband jumped out of bed, turned on the lights in search of the scorpion who was hiding under the sheet. My husband was like, find him and smash him. Get over here.
Yeah, you can. I was going to say you can make him get over here.
Upside, didn't injure any other part of their body whilst jumping out of bed from a arachnid-type creature.
For Kerr, who's lived in Arizona since 1964, the scorpion sting couldn't have come at a more inconvenient time. She is a dairy farmer and has a competition to win. Luckily, she's making a speedy recovery. The pain has subsided after 15 hours of the bite, and despite a bit of numbness, she's feeling much better. I think I'll be more than ready for tomorrow's competition, Kerr said. The sting isn't her only obstacle, though. Kerr may actually be a dairy farmer, but she's never actually milked a cow with her own two hands.
So how does she know she's a milking thumb? This is coincidental, and there's another kind of cow-related word before another defecation-type word here that I'm kind of hearing. Coincidentally, I got stung by a scorpion on the thumb that I've never used to milk a cow.
They have machines for that now. Mm-hmm. I did get a couple of lessons from my son and my husband. I think I'm all geared up and ready to go. The competition is hosted by Arizona Department of Agriculture. Kerr, who is represented in the Senate, will go up against Republican David Cook, who will milk for the House, and 12 agency directors. Whoever has the most milk in their bucket at the end of 2 minutes wins.
Fun day out for all the family.
Leave the cows alone, man.
Kerr, in her first year competing, admits the competition will be stiff. Last year's champion was Mark Killian, the Director of Department for Agriculture. He knows what he's doing, Kerr said. I'm really upset about this, of course. Everything goes for a great cause.
You hear the noise that dustbin lorry man.
Suitable commentary for the bus lorry going past there.
A little toot.
And that was your weird news for the week.
Shall we go and play at the games convention now?
Yes.
I am here with Larry. We're here to talk about his game, Disobedient Sheep. Could you tell me a little bit about the game, please?
Yeah, sure. So it's a local multiplayer 2 or 4 person sheep herding party game.
Okay.
I think it's hopefully the only sheep herding party game. We most quickly described it as Overcooked / Lemmings.
Okay.
Kind of overcooked with like cartoon violence of lemmings.
So how far into development is it at the moment?
So we're pretty close to launch. Should be releasing on Steam or PC first at the end of the year. You can wishlist, which would be awesome. And then hopefully following that, Switch would be amazing. It is, yeah, maybe. Xbox, PlayStation, probably less likely, and it's a whole lot more work. But yeah, it's been in development for 2 years of evenings and weekends.
Okay.
So a long old time.
Has it just been you working on the game, or have you got a team with you?
Yes, it's pretty much just me. So I handle all the design, programming, 3D art. So I've hired out a couple of friends of mine, freelancers, so all of the sound design, and so all of the audio is from someone else. And the same for the 2D art, like the UI and stuff as well, is another friend. So yeah,
okay, cool.
That's us.
So what sort of inspired you to make a sheep herding game?
I read an article asking what inspired the people who made Overcooked.
Okay.
They made Overcooked. And the answer was one of them worked in the kitchen.
Okay.
And so I was bored one day, I was standing around in some shops, and I was like, what's some weird jobs I've had in the past? So I spent some sort of summers volunteering on a farm. And one of the things we did on the farm was we got a dozen or so primary school kids and talked about teamwork by moving sheep from one field to another. As you can imagine, a dozen primary school kids are not very good at moving sheep from one field to another. And so it was chaotic and crazy, and that's where it came from.
Okay, cool. I mean, it's got a very interesting control scheme because like each player is controlling one stick.
Yeah.
What sort of inspired you to take that?
So it's kind of a mix, really. In the final game, you will be able to have one controller per player if you want to. But I really like if we do two players per controller. It solves a bunch of nice little problems. So a lot of people don't necessarily have 4 controllers, so you can have 4 people on 2 controllers, which is just cool.
Yeah.
And also it's intuitively kind of friendlier and closer, and like if you're playing in co-op and if you're playing in versus, when you can push your friend off the controller. It feels nicer. Overcooked did it as well, and a bunch of other games did it. So.
One thing I sort of read about the game is that obviously you said you were inspired by real life sheep herding.
Yeah.
From what I was reading on like the press pack and everything, you said that you just sort of read academic stuff about sheep herding, was it?
Yeah. So when one of the hardest things about this game was in designing the algorithm for how the sheep flock and herd together.
Okay.
And so when I started the process of coding that up and thinking about what that would look like mathematically, I read a bunch of there's actually one really good, I think it was an undergraduate dissertation by some computer science student somewhere. And I read a whole bunch of his dissertation, and it described the mechanics of how he'd implemented this flocking algorithm. And I lifted a lot of inspiration from that, some of the maths from that, and then I had to generalize it to actually work in a game. Because there's a bunch of constraints in games that don't necessarily work in a very theoretical mathematical construct.
So obviously, very important question. You obviously play as dogs. How many different types of dogs are?
5 currently.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay.
They each have a series of different colours as well.
Okay.
So you can pick between 5 dogs with 2 or 3 colours each.
That's cool. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you said that you're launching very soon.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for Disobedient Sheep.
Thank you.
So we got a bit of a challenge that we've been given here. So it was Leigh's birthday, and did we forget to get him a gift? I think we probably did, didn't we?
It's not that we forgot. It was more that we were waiting for this event so we could get a very specific gaming-related present for him.
That is definitely what happened
That's
here.
exactly the reason.
So Ryan's taken Leigh off to the creche, and we are going to go try and find him a gift. We've been given a sum of money, which Ryan suspiciously gave me out on the floor like he was giving me drug money.
In that envelope, yeah. It's very good.
So we're going to go try and find something to buy him, and we'll feed you into what we're looking at.
Let's go find Leigh a present.
Gift buying. So we know how much Leigh likes Fortnite, and there is a really nice Fortnite cap that we could potentially get him here. Oh, what about a Skyrim necklace? I'll tell you what, that'd work for Laura's dad.
Well, you've got your wallets as well, your Battle Royale wallets. They're quite nice.
Yeah, he'd love that. I mean, maybe not, but what about what every lad of Leigh's age wants? Is a gold Gamora Funko Pop.
It's definitely on everybody's wish list, that one.
Definitely, one of the best characters of all time. Or a Fortnite Monopoly set.
Any game that could be improved by adding the Fortnite label to it is Monopoly. Works for me. Although there's a rather cute plush Pikachu, which is quite nice.
He's quite happy in it. To be fair, it looks like someone's tickling down below.
Although there's a nice Boer as well. He's kind of cute.
I don't even know what that is.
Boba Fett is nice. That's kind of cool.
They're making these Pokemon names up these days.
You don't believe that any of the Pokemon names are not made up in the first place?
It's true. Oh my god, there's a dick butt mug.
Oh dear.
I mean, like, if that was me in this situation, I would definitely want a dick butt mug.
Yes. I think. Oh, you can. I almost thought they got him as a mouse mat for you as well.
What about a big Chungus mouse mat?
Yeah.
What have you found?
I found the perennial favourite of all of these conventions, the Willy Wonka bar plus golden ticket framed set in multiple coloured backgrounds and frames.
I feel like he should. I feel like he would like that. Do you think it's a genuine bar of chocolate in there?
I'm not prepared to break it out and find out.
Still talking about the chocolate bar, right?
Definitely talking about chocolate bars.
What about a sex pillow?
You may need one.
Would he like one of those?
Here we go. Some nice prints. I think he would appreciate a lovely God of War.
Was that boy, Man of Boy?
Man of Boy print, yeah. I think the Star Wars helmets are a little bit over our budgets.
Helmet.
For you though.
Oh, nice. Twin Peaks.
Yeah, we can afford one print.
So it could be God of War.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I kind of like it.
What the suggestion of 10 Twinkies to me sounds
we
like
found
a
a store here now that seems to have food nobody would eat normally, and there is the option of with our birthday funds we could get 10 Twinkies.
I feel like genuinely this is like, I'm looking at it, I want it, I feel fat.
Yeah. Oh, there's some Pez dispensers.
Can't go wrong with a Pez dispenser.
Yeah, we could. Various kinds of M&Ms and Jolly Ranchers, all the kind of American-style food. But Pez dispenser looks good. I'm going to go and have a investigate what.
Right, can of pop. Somebody just did a burp in the background. It was really funny. So we've just been offered a massage walking around.
You were offered a massage.
So I could just use the money here to have £10 worth of massage and say it was a treat for Leigh's birthday. Oh my god, a Fortnite face mask.
Yeah, you've got a good choice here. There's actually a whole head Deadpool mask here, which is within our budget.
That is true. I'm not sure he would wear that, but...
True. That was surprisingly hard.
It really was.
A lot of stuff just over our budget, and that was pretty tricky. But I think we've done all right. I think we've done ourselves proud.
Yeah.
Are you happy with what we got?
I think so.
Let's go surprise him.
Yeah. So obviously we've been out and about on a task, and it was meant to be a surprise, but Keith just ruined it off air. Yes, Leigh, we were looking for birthday presents for you. Okay. So we've been on a bit of a shopping trip.
I thought I'd replace the usual tat challenge with a birthday challenge instead.
It was hard.
It was really hard. I mean,
challenge.
Yeah, I spent half an hour with him, and like we really had like a good hard time getting to grips with it.
There were far too many close packed corridors that I had to walk down with Guy. It wasn't helpful.
The good news is, Ryan, you've got change. You did have change.
I lost my change.
You can have some fun with that, Derek.
Right then, Leigh. So the first we bought you a food item, Dream Animals.
Okay. These are very, very cute. The packaging looks very Japanese, but I don't know how much it is. But yeah,
I mean, there's learning on the back as well. You have multilingual versions.
Yeah.
So, could you tell us what's the Dutch version of eagle?
The Dutch version of the eagle is the adelaar, but the best one is the bat, which is a fledermaus in German. Rather helpfully, an elephant in German is an elephant.
What's a German hippo?
A German hippo is a nilpferd. And it has a very similar name in Dutch, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce.
Yes. I do like a hen in Dutch is also kip.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. I approve of Dream Animals.
And they are butter-flavoured biscuits.
There was seaweed flavour, but Keith told me not to be mean.
Well, to be fair, I do like... I probably would have been okay with that.
These are your main gifts.
Okay.
In this nicely... We wrapped up bag, definitely.
He's lost his biscuits.
He's already lost his biscuits.
Let's see what this is. We've got a big chungus.
The geese are not appreciating the big chungus.
I can't even say coaster. There we go. So, of course, and we have little Mario and Sonic minifigs, which are very nice, actually.
I mean, in the position that they're in at the moment in that bag, it looks a bit ominous. What's going on there?
Well, you know, as always, Nintendo and Sega are collaborating to bring down the world. So
Yes.
that's right.
I mean, Sonic is very impressed with his ring there by the look of it.
Well,
He's currently in the pro.
He's trying to fondle his ring.
Yeah, he's very proud of his ring and showing it off to Mario.
Yes, unfortunately, Mario doesn't have his little mushroom available.
Hope you like your little Lego and your big chungus.
I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
So I'm here with Charlotte from Game Monsters. We're here to see the game Winklebottom Investigates. So tell us a little bit about the game.
It's a 1920s point of view mystery. So here, kind of, Monkey Island, that side of it. Similar sort of game. We're a bit of sort of dark in here. So it's sort of heavily inspired by Snot Otters, as well as sort of a bit of kind of thrown in there and so it's a bit of a kind of fun mix of stuff. So obviously everyone's now so
I mean, it's definitely ticks all the boxes for me. It's got detective stuff, it's quite good adventure. It's inspired by the old movie stuff. So, and it sounds great. You said that like sort of the universe of horror. You said so obviously without spoiling too much, how does that sort of?
I don't know if it'd be too much of a spoiler. I've got a spin video which kind of leads on to that. I'm not going to get too much away. There's some odd stuff going on the island, as well as the murder mystery. So other stuff to find out.
Cool. So how far into development are you?
Well, I've got about another sort of maybe 12 to 14 months left, possibly. Probably about 12 months left. So maybe around May to June release next year. June will be more of a switch because it takes a little bit extra time to get everything finished. So not massive amount of time.
So you mentioned about being on the Switch. I noticed that there's a lot of games at the moment. A lot of developers seem to be going for the Switch. You've got many within the months. Is there any particular reason why developers such as yourself so happy to the Switch?
Well, I always love Nintendo stuff, but also Adventures work really well on that. It also works kind of without the controls as well, so it works with the kind of touch interface. So I think it lends itself quite well to being like a kind of portable sort of solo game. But yeah, like I said, I always love Nintendo stuff anyway, so really great to get a game on.
So I've played a little bit of it. The question is, why giraffe? What inspired it?
Well, it was sometime last year. I just started sort of drawing like a series of like fancy animal portraits, and the giraffe on the top hat and a quite monocle was the first thing that I drew. And then I drew the hippo, and I just kind of did a series of sort of like fancy old style, and then it kind of just kind of lent itself to that story idea. And I'd always wanted to do a point of view adventure game, so I thought, I might as well use that. So I've worked in games before, but it's always been a big studio, so you don't necessarily get a chance to work on stuff that obviously is like massively interesting to you in that way that you want to necessarily play. So it's nice to kind of get your own sort of interest into it. And I do like animals, and I like writing big adventures, and I like murder mysteries, so it's sort of matching them all together.
So from what I've heard about you are largely developing this by yourself?
Yeah, I'm just working on it as a solo dev at the moment. Running a Kickstarter, so I'm looking forward to get some physical localization, music, voice acting, stuff like that. So just kind of make sure I do it on time and I sort of a budget
We found something at the NEC, and it's fascinated you guys.
I don't understand why this thing is here. I mean, like the NEC National Exhibition Centre, you know, gaming conventions, crufts, you know, gigs. I'd appreciate that.
Year show.
Yeah, I appreciate all that stuff being here. Trade, you know, fair and things like that. But what is this, Ryan?
This seems to be. It looks like a hooker prize, but it's not. It is the most blokey vending machine I have ever seen.
It's the most manly vending machine.
We have a range of prizes here that can be won, including plug socket adapters, cable ties, USB memory sticks, 4-gang extension 13-amp cords, Mr. Puzzle surface cleaner,
duct tape,
nail gun, glue sticks.
Look, if you're a serial killer in desperate need, you've got all the things you need here.
Yeah, I feel like because the NEC's always open as well. Like if you've knocked someone off in the middle of the night, get here, you've got the stuff.
I'm a little disappointed that the colour of staple gun I want is a couple back. So I've got to hang around to let other people get a staple gun before I get the one I want.
I mean, like, Ryan, you touched the screen as well, and it gave you some pricing of some stuff. Like, the duct tape is £8.50. That's something you can get from Boundland for £1. Like, honestly,
when you've done your murder, you're not going to be concerned with the price. It's a time-specific amount.
I feel like if honestly, if you've committed crime, if you come later, like, I've got to spend £8.50 on top of this. Like, that is that's shocking, really. I just don't understand why this is here or why this was ever built. It's the most spectacular waste of material.
I mean, the one thing I do love is the parcel tape is called Fit for the Job, which means they understand it is going to be rubbish, but it will do. Yeah. They should just call it It'll Do parcel tape.
I mean, like, at what point are you going to be like, do you know what, I need to pop to the NEC because I really need to get a glue gun? It's ridiculous. Honestly, everything about it. The only useful thing in here really is the memory pen, which you might use in an emergency here.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the yellow high-vis vests are sold out as well.
That's shocking.
I mean, what more could you...
That's what I needed. I needed a high-vis vest.
What's the most expensive item?
I think something is £30, but it actually isn't appearing of what it is.
Wow. Honestly...
White duct tape. That big roll of white duct tape is £30 English pounds.
30?
30 English pounds.
No. What on earth?
I mean, if you need to wrap a corpse in a hurry, I mean, I'd just go for the masking tape, to be honest.
I mean, there's a useful iPhone charger thing in there. That's quite useful, but I mean, otherwise. We're just getting into ridiculous territory. Keith, you seem fascinated by this.
Well, I'm just because, like, he says, that duct tape, £30.
50 metres worth.
Yeah, but if you go to this for £10,
50 metres also for 10. It's exactly the same thing for.
So it's trying to trick you as quickly as possible.
Oh, do you think it's here though? Kind of like in case of emergency, like, and you can't stick your banner up at a convention. They're like, oh, well, you know, you could just use staple gun, go pick one up, put it on company account, and.
I'm assuming this is what the main thing is called. I mean, the company that own this beautiful vending machine is Expo Supplies.
Is it beautiful? I feel like honestly, it's like looking at Wix on the go.
I feel like this is like a trip to Japan on the cheap because we know how much Japan is obsessed with vending machines.
Yes.
This feels like it's a Japanese import.
Yeah. Very much
except
so.
not full of capsule toys or body pillows or random manga figurines. We just get duct tape and Mr. Muscle.
Or the mythical used underwear, which we hear about.
And Keith is now fascinated by the Starbucks machine next door, which is squirting hot liquid as we speak.
I mean, I like the combination of shops we've got on this aisle. So we've got a Coke bottle machine, we've got a little mini Starbucks, we've got this Exo Supplies thing, and then we've got a photo booth. And
stock.
And there's a photocopier at the end as well.
Yes.
So if I wanted to photocopy my arse right now, I could.
I mean, the Coke machine, as you said, Keith, is nearly out of stock, so a lot of the people have been thirsty and wanting to spend £2 of their English pounds on a bottle of Coke.
£2.
Which, to be honest, you can get an iron brew for £1 in the newsagents around the corner, and it's healthier. It's only 13% of
and
your
also,
sugar.
since everything from there is £2, there are normally bottles of water in there, but again, newsagent you can get one for much less, much bigger as well.
Geeky Brummy, informative and entertaining.
Did anybody see the guy that looked like Keith that walked past? I think I'm in love again.
How did a guy that looked like me walk past?
There looks like you. Look.
A gentleman who hasn't got Keith's hair or shirt.
Looks nothing like me at all.
Basically, he has glasses and a beard.
Go and stand next to that man, and we'll be confused. We'll have to do a double take.
And to be honest, with the glasses and the beard, that would describe 2 more of us of the team.
Yes.
So,
I mean, is it just like a skin swap that you get in like a game where you get a slightly different coloured outfit?
Yeah, I've spent £2 of my own money on a loot crate, and I got a slightly different variant of myself.
So we're at Resorts World having a few minutes break, and we've just been into the superhero gallery that they have on here for the Easter weekend. There's quite some statuesque statues.
Yeah.
Guy, you found your brother from another
Well, I mean,
Asgardian.
Quite clearly was a statue of Thor that they had modelled on me and my life likeness. This was before I put a bit of timber on, so there was genuinely like a statue of me in there. So it was good that people are going to look at me and admire me in various shapes and forms.
Cool. Keith, what did you think?
Given the advertising, I thought there was a lot less there than I was led to believe. It was just a few statues, really. I think if you were a kid under the age of 7, it would be great to see those figures there. But I think they could have been a lot more on the walls. Could have been some more posters, maybe some artwork and stuff as well to jazz it up a little bit more.
Not happy that John Wick wasn't in that.
He's not a superhero. He's a genuine kind of like geezer who assassinates people with pencils. But yeah, I think they could have jazzed it up with a bit more kind of, comics related stuff.
Leigh, you don't like superheroes. How was that experience for you?
it was alright.
Was it just a room that you had to go into with these people?
It was just a room full of statues, yeah. They were impressively done, but that's really all that I got from it. So
well detailed.
Yeah.
Guy, you took particular interest in the Wonder Woman statue.
Right, so you thought I was looking elsewhere, but I was looking at the eyelashes, which were genuinely look like real eyelashes.
When you moved in close, though, it really did look like you were going right up to her chest.
Well, you know.
Checking out the detail on that breastplate there.
Yeah.
Bit of action where I can get it.
I've now got to run off to Millennium Point and get the screening set up, so I'm going to leave you gentlemen together.
I'm going to correct you here. You ain't running anywhere with your dodgy knee. You're going to hobble off.
Mm-hmm. I will walk slowly with determined purpose towards the Millennium Point to get the screening set up, so I'm going to leave you guys having fun watching the dogs.
I got to go wedding.
Yes.
Someone's getting married.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Keith, where can we find you online?
The usual places on...
You'll find Keith at Bear Grylls Adventure.
Screaming loudly. It's Twitter is hardluck_hotel. Pretty much everywhere else you just lose the underscore. Down the back of the sofa.
The back of the sofa?
Down the back of the sofa. Yeah, it's Bear Grylls effect.
Which part of the sofa is saying that he's a loser baby?
Leigh, where can we find you online?
You can find me on YouTube at Bob the Pet Ferret, where you can find my Dreams video and a couple of other first impressions videos. And you can
subscribe with it.
And you can find that dog following me as well. And you can find me on Twitter at the Cheap Ferret as well.
Guy, where can we find you online?
Vinyl Guy H Instagram. Potentially by the time this goes out there might be a new Curiosity Crate, mixcloud.com/Curiosity Crate. Don't bank your hopes on it, but there might be one there.
And you can find me at Ryan Parrish on Twitter.
I ain't got nothing
on for the foodie stuff. And you can find us all at Geeky Brummy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, geekybrummy.com, and at the Geeky Brummy YouTube channel. But for now, goodbye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.